Hey guys, I'm sitting out here waiting for the rain to come in. I know there's a bit of a storm that's been brewing up. Looks kind of dark over that way. But I do like there's a stillness that comes before a storm. And you'll start hearing the birds chirping and it goes kind of quiet a little bit, even though I live on a main road, but no big deal, no big deal there. Actually helps me sleep. It's funny how we tune into those things from our past that we still get comfort in. And one of those is a main street. Where I lived in London, I lived on a main street and there was always traffic. So being a little kid, sleeping to that noise, and now I live on a main road again, and it helps me sleep. It helps me go to sleep to that noise. But I wanted to put this out there because I've been asked this before, how do you work? What do you do? A couple of people have said, how do you do what you do? And there is no one real answer. I've been told that I do things completely different, and I absolutely I'll take that as a pride, because I've been through many different therapists myself. I've been through psychiatrists as well. I've been on all different kinds of medications, cocktails of medications too, to the point where I literally gave up. I didn't want to do it anymore. And little did I know that all those lessons of what not to do has become part of how I work with the guys that I work with. And I'm absolutely blessed to be in the position I'm in. I can't believe that I'm in the position I'm in, because if you would have told me, 4 years ago or so that I was going to be doing the job that I do, I would have said you're crazy, because I didn't see myself doing this job at all. But I absolutely love what I do. And the only way I can explain it is something that I saw my therapist say to one of her clients when I was under her wing and working my way through and understanding what to do, what not to do, and how to work things. And I remember her leaning forward to somebody once and saying, "I'll do whatever I got to do to get the job done." And I never ever forgot it. And it's exactly what I do. I break the rules. I definitely break the rules. It's about, what do I have to do with this person sitting in front of me to get them where they want to be, to work their own mind. So I use different ways. I use different tools, a lot of tools that I've worked out myself. Some tools I've learned from different areas, maybe read about it, seen it on TV. I'm constantly working on finding new information, how this works. Even this week, I watched an interview with Mel Robbins. If anybody knows Mel Robbins, you'll know exactly the person I'm talking about. If you don't know Mel Robbins, go and look her up and give her a follow, because really good person to follow. But it started triggering off again different areas of how the mind works, and I want to know more. I want to dive into it. I want to know how this amazing supercomputer that we hold in our skull here works, because we walk around believing that we cannot change anything. For so many years people said that you can't, and now they know that there is that elastoplasticity that goes on, where you can shift this, you can mold this into a different way. And it comes from working on yourself, working on your own mind, and shifting those things. And there's ways of doing that. So once I started on my own journey of self-discovery, finding out who I am, finding out how my own mind works, what I can do to shift that, it shifted into me being able to teach other people and help other people move forward in their own minds. And there's a lot of different things I use, a lot of different tools that I use. But mainly it's about seeing what the person's looking for, where they want to go, what they're having trouble with, where they may be stuck, And then looking at that situation and then seeing where that may be coming from. Looking at sometimes the roots of where those things are at. And a lot that comes from childhood upbringings, different beliefs, different programs that we pick up, because the brain's only going to believe what you tell it. We tell it a lot of bullshit, I tell you that, and then the mind goes running with it and it believes it, and all of a sudden that becomes your reality, because it's not actually a reality, it's a belief. So working on your own mind is a way of shifting the whole pattern around and making that the default. It's changing the default that we have, because we wake up in the morning, what's the first thing we do? We go to a negative, right? And one of the things to do to start shifting that is wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to have a good day today. You don't have to exactly 100% believe it at that time. But by you just saying that out loud, saying it to yourself and bringing it into focus into the mind, you're going to start shifting the default of where the brain wants to go, which is to a negative. So when you open your eyes in the morning, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm going to have a good day today. And then when you get through your day and you get towards the end of the day and you're getting into the evening, you're ready to settle down, you're looking to go to bed, ask yourself, what went well in my day today? And start shifting the narrative. It's one of the things to work with, and it's just one of the things that I help my guys with. Changing the narratives of your mind, because we're so quick to pick up on the negatives and use the negatives. So that's one direction I go in. The other is the wisdom that I picked up along the way with my own mind, working with my own mind. I remember the first time that I can remember that I had anxiety or somewhat of a panic attack was when I was like 5. And it was the first day of going to school. And I remember Mum taking me out to school. And my mum said, because we lived right on top of the school, and she said she could hear me screaming the school down because I didn't want to be there. And there's reasons for these things that you may not even realise that are actual reasons until someone like myself can, have those experiences and then maybe pick those out for you. And then the mind starts to see and starts deciphering and starts to realise that there is ways that you can change these things and shift in the mind in a different direction. We live in fear. So I like to find out what those fears are and then work whatever I've got to do. Work in different ways to be able to shift your perspective on that fear and maybe not even see that as a fear anymore. It's something I love to do. I love working with my guys. My guys, again, have told me many times that I do things completely different from what they've had before. I've even had spouses and partners say to me, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing for them because they're starting to move and they're starting to shift. They're starting to see a difference. And they may have had therapy before, just like myself. Had lots of therapy before and nothing was really sticking or working because it wasn't hitting the areas of what matter. So that's what I do. And if anybody has any comments, questions, anything like that, please hit the comment section. Go in there, ask me. You may get a no. You may get I don't know. You may get something where I'm not willing to answer the question. But I'd say a good 99% of the time, I don't mind answering a question. And some of those things, it's just like what I share with my guys when I'm working with them, is I share stories that I know will connect with that person, and it gives them a little bit of a different perspective, and it allows them to see that, hey, there's someone here that's been in that position, and here's what I did, and here's a different way of thinking about it. Back then, I didn't have that, and it just became the regular program or belief that kept me in my mind of fear. But once you start to see some patterns or be pointed in a direction to where there's an understanding there, now you can start shifting the pattern of the mind. And looking back and not seeing it as a fear, start seeing it as a lesson, something that's teaching you, something that's pointing you in a direction, you're just not seeing it. Because now we can use those things and turn it around. But it takes work, guys. It takes intent and it takes work on your part to want to go there and to want to push and to want to grow and want to expand. Like I said, this is a supercomputer. I think Mel Robbins, actually, I believe it was on her vlog where she said, or podcast, where she said there is 10 million different pieces of information per second given to the brain. But I believe we can only pick up on, I think it was like 100 of those consciously. It's all going into your subconscious mind, but it's all having an effect. All your five senses are programming your mind continually. So if you've been given a fear, especially as a child, if you've been told that this is scary when it wasn't really scary, that may come down to the insecurities of the parent as well, where they fear something and stop you from doing it. Now you pick up that fear, but then you become an adult and you want to go forward into something and there's a trigger and you believe that you can't do it because of that, but you can't see it because it's rooted and you took it as an absolute gospel truth, and it's not. So come and work with me, guys. I do the one-on-one. I have my link tree in the description, or I will put it in the description, and go and hit me up. You can come and check out me on email, which is mindnutrition4, the number 4, all.com or gmail.com, sorry. Mind nutrition, all in one, the number 4, all, ALL, at gmail.com. Hit me up. Come and have a chat. We can figure something out and do one-on-ones. And you don't have to be from my area at all. I've got people from different areas in the United States, and I could even work out something if you're even from a different country, and we can figure something out time-wise and that, and work. There is a way. I'm going to tell you, there is a way. There is a way out. And I would love to help you find that way. Because not only do I work on changing the mind, I like to change the whole person and move them in a direction that they want to be. Some people, after a few sessions with me, say, I don't like my job. Okay, let's work on getting you somewhere where you want to be. And they have. They've shifted their whole careers. They've shifted their whole, because of now, they open their mind up to allow fear to be there and be able to step in the unknowns that's been stopping them before. Come and see me, guys. I would love to work with you, I really would. I do things differently, and that's not me saying that. That's a good few people have been saying that. In fact, even someone last week said, I've never been told that in that manner before, or in that way before. So that's golden to me. I love moving people forward. It's a big win against the fears. Come and see me. Stay the course. Namaste.